Hey there guys, thanks for tuning in to part 1 of my punch needle tutorial. My name is Liz Matthews, my company is Hello from Liz Matthews, and I am so excited to be doing this long awaited tutorial for you. This is going to be in 2 parts. Part 1 is going to be all of the supplies and the basic information about punch needle. Part 2 is going to be a hands down, camera down view of what I'm working on as I punch, and you can actually see me punching. Why am I doing this in 2 parts? Because I can't figure out how to edit a video. And if I had to do that right now, this would never happen. And I've promised this for a long time, and I want to get you guys punching, so I hope you don't mind. This will go up, and then a couple minutes later, part 2 will go up. Just hop on over there. It'll be like we never left. Thank you so much for watching. All right, let's dive into all of the supplies you need. I did want to just start out by saying there's 2 types of punch needle that I'm seeing pop up more and more lately. One is kind of larger format yarn style punch needle, which I also do, and I'm happy to answer questions about, but it's not what we're going to be discussing in this video today. So if you've seen this kind of project that's really large, done with yarn, it's the same process. You do it the exact same way using much larger tools. So you will see this on Instagram, on social media, on Pinterest, being really popular, and it's lovely, but not what we're focusing on today. What we're focusing on today is what I call unofficially embroidery style punch needle. It's usually much smaller and it's done with embroidery floss, thus why I call it embroidery style punch needle. This is one of my designs. I do have to say, being the marketer that I am, that all of the tools that you'll see today and all of the patterns are available in my Etsy shop, which is just hellofromlizmatthews.com. If you want to see anything, if you want to give it a try, you can find it all there. So this is what we're talking about today, this embroidery style punch needle products. This is done with Weeks Dye Works. I do have a floss tube channel, which is probably why you're here and how you found me. And a comment that I was seeing again and again is that people who typically cross stitch have been wanting to try floss. People who cross stitch have been wanting to try punch needle but are afraid, and that makes me so sad because it's so fun and you have absolutely nothing to be afraid of. The very worst thing that could happen is you give up a little bit of time and maybe a skein of DMC. That's it. That's it. Don't feel like you have to give up on cross stitch to do punch needle. It is just the perfect addition to cross stitch. It's a little bit quicker, a little less required. I always say it's like filling in and coloring in with fibers. So if you are a cross stitcher who's been wanting to try, I hope this is just the nudge you need. You will love it. It will be so fun. You can get back to your cross stitch. You might love it, and really you have absolutely nothing to be scared of. I hope especially by the time that we're done these videos together, you are ready to go. So the basics of punch needle, what it is. Punch needle, I believe, and I need to look into the history of this, I want to know more, was kind of derived and inspired by rug hooking, which was again done on that much larger format like I just showed you, and this is basically a shrunken version of that. But I believe it has its roots and got its start there. What you're going to be doing to punch needle is, I just recorded this twice, by the way. I'm like, did I already say that? Because when I put it on YouTube, I was sideways and I couldn't be sideways for such an important video. So if I look like I'm like, hey, did I just say that? It's because I'm thinking, hey, did I just say that? The basics of punch needle are you use a punch needle tool to work your thread through fabric and create a tiny little loop. Those loops are what you create your image, your picture, your pattern with. So what you're looking at here, this whale, all the flowers, all the background, everything is a super tiny little loop that you make by hand with your punch needle tool. It goes through a piece of foundation fabric in whatever position you put it, and slowly, punch by punch, you create your picture. So you're basically just making little loops all day long. you need, besides your thread and your scissors, which I feel like are kind of self-explanatory, you need 3 things, and that is it. It's not a big investment. Of course, you can get really elaborate and buy fancier products, but to start, don't let fear of tools or budget be a reason to not start. It can be really affordable and really easy. So the first of the 3 tools you will need is a foundation fabric. I use weaver's cloth. I believe that pretty much everybody who does this style punch needle uses weaver's cloth. Weaver's cloth is the perfect blend of polyester and cotton. It is 55% poly, 45% cotton, and that creates the perfect combination to allow you to easily puncture the weaver's cloth while you're creating your little loops. And then the poly in there goes back and holds your little loops tight in place so they don't pop right back out. I have tried just 100% cotton, doesn't work. Give it a try if you want. I want you to make this your own, to encourage you to make it your own and try whatever you want. But this is maybe one of those cases where a lot of trial and error has gone into this, and I think you will probably find that the weaver's cloth is the way to go. So you'll have that, and then what you're also going to need is a hoop or frame. I'll show you what a frame is in a second, but you need a lip locking hoop to hold your fabric tight. I cannot stress enough how important it is that your fabric be drum tight. So that's why you need a locking lip hoop, one that kind of has a ridge on there. You guys probably know what I mean, but it has to be able to hold that fabric in there really well and really tight while you're punching. Hoops are so affordable at the store. Again, there's the full run of less expensive to more expensive. You just need the less expensive one. I think this was maybe like $5, if that. That's all you need. And I like to go with a hoop that's big enough to fit my entire design inside. You can, if you're working on a large piece, start to move your design out here and like stretch it over your punched area, if that makes sense. I just prefer not to do that if I don't have to. So if I can get a hoop that fits my entire design in there, that's what I will always do. So weaver's cloth, hoop, or frame. That's what I just mentioned. So I'm pretty invested into punch needle. I love it very much. So what I have done is upgraded to a punching frame. That's what you see on all my social media and my pictures. You guys ask a lot. I punch on this frame. What you'll find here is basically like metal Velcro up here. I hope you can see this. It doesn't hurt, but it works in one direction and it holds your fabric really, really, really drum tight. I am happy to give you guys more information if you want to know about this, but I'm not going to stay here too long because as a intro to punch needle video, I feel like the hoop is going to be the way that you're going to want to go. Again, so affordable, so easy. Don't make this harder than it has to be, or don't give yourself any excuses not to try. But you can hear it gets drum tight in both the hoop and on the frame, and that's what you want when you punch, and we'll get into that in video number 2. Lastly, the last thing you need is going to be a punch needle itself, and that looks like this. You hold it like a pen, and what happens is this little tiny metal tip punctures your fabric, that weaver's cloth we were talking about, and creates the little loop. I will get way more into this tool in the next video, but if I were going to maybe invest a couple extra dollars in any of the products I'm telling you to get today, it would be a punch needle tool. I recently did some research, purchased some inexpensive ones thinking I might want to carry these in my shop just to give a couple different budget options. No good. It's no good. There is like a little burr at the tip of the punch needle. It shreds your fabric, or your thread, excuse me. So this might be the place that you want to invest just a little bit more money, because this is your tool. This is doing all the work for you. So this is an adjustable punch needle. It's called the Ultra Punch. Adjustable in that these numbers and these little gauges allow you to change the tip size on your needle. I just realized I didn't show this yet, but this will probably make what I'm saying a little bit more clear. So remember I said we're basically just making little loops. Well, this little piece of fabric has loops of different length on there, and that's what you're adjusting with your needle. You can make the needle a little bit longer to do longer loops or shorter for your shorter loops. And there's a reason you would want to do both of them, but this needle's nice because it's adjustable. Let me see. This worked a little better before. So it's adjustable down here. This little dial, oh, this is going to be out of focus. I can't do this video again. It's adjustable to let your needle, here, let's do this. So this is on its longest length, adjusted to length 12. You can see how long it is. I typically punch on a 1 or a 2, so I am going to just adjust this back down, and you can see how far that needle goes in there. So it's quite a large difference, which is one of the things that makes an adjustable needle really, really nice. This punch needle that's in my shop is also nice because it comes with 3 different size tips, so you can do a really thin wool, you can do 6 strands of DMC, a full skein, or you can do thinner thread. I believe Aldini is thinner, I'm not sure, I haven't worked with it, but it's a really versatile tool, both length and thickness wise, so I highly recommend that. All punch needles, no matter which one you go with, is going to come with a threader, and I know you're probably like, I can't even see what you're doing. This is a threader. This is what you use to thread your needle. We'll get into it in the next video, like so many things I've said already. But these come together. You do not want to lose your threader. You can buy replacements because you can see they're very losable, but they're always sold as a set. You need that to make your punch needle work. So 3 simple things: weaver's cloth, hoop, punch needle. That's it. So I'm going to see you in my next video. I will show you how we use all of these things, how we put it to work. Hop on over there, give me just a little bit of time to record it, and I will see you over there in just a minute.